are gonna work on some side planks. So good for your core, good for stabilization, and really great for the obliques and the hip abductors or your side butt. So all that needs to be strong. So you need some room on the floor. I'm gonna use a yoga mat, make it more comfortable on my elbow. Pull up to a carpet or a rug if that feels more comfortable too. We're gonna do these each side for 30 seconds. Talking technique. Before we get going, you're gonna make sure your shoulder, hip, and ankle are in a perfectly straight line. So get ready. We're gonna hold this 30 seconds. Let's pull up. 8, 7, we're going for 30 seconds, baby. 6, 5, halfway on this side. So a few little technique bits. Recheck in. Shoulder, hip, ankle. Very common for people to dip their shoulder forward and dip their hip backward. Don't let yourself do it. We got a quick switch. Thread the arm through, stay up. So final 30 seconds here. The other critical piece is that bottom hip. As you fatigue, it will want to sink. And you're not gonna let it sink because you wanna get some work done here. So you keep that hip up. Other piece, if your shoulder's bugging you, make sure you're actively pushing the ground away from you. If you just let your kind of weight sink into that shoulder, it's a little, rough on the joint. Okay, we've got a short break. I've got a modification. If that felt okay, do it that way. If you need to, join me here. I'll do round 2 on the knees. So knees are gonna be stacked up with my hips and shoulders. Here we go. I don't change the technique. I still need to make sure my rear end, my butt is pushing forward and not sinking back. We're halfway on this side. Good, couple more, actively pushing the ground away with that shoulder. And we switch. I'll stay on my knees. Keeping that bottom hip lifted. If you're using a yoga mat like me, it's probably covered in glitter. This yoga mat has been outside the house one time and it is covered in glitter. I just don't know how that happens. Last 8. Okay. So, if you stuck with the elbow lifting from the ankles, let's stick with that one. If you thought the knees felt like a more appropriate challenge, stick with that one. Third round, I'm gonna give you a stability challenge. So not lifting up quite yet, but we're getting ready on that elbow. We're gonna hold this one a little longer too. This is closer to 40 seconds. All right, ready? Let's go. Lift the hips. So you're gonna reach that top hand toward the ceiling. And then what I'm gonna have you do, if you can, is reach forward and reach up. You do not have to go at any particular pace with this one. But what you do need to do is make sure your core is holding you stable, so you're not waving around back and forth. We're truly isolating the movement to only the arm. Quick switch coming up. Ready? And. If you need to stick with the original plank, side plank, no movement, that's totally fine. If you've been doing this for a while and you're ready for a challenge, reach that arm up to the ceiling and slowly put the hand up and forward. Adds a little bit of a rotational demand to our spine. Check in, is your butt back? For most people, the answer will be yes, so we have to make sure we keep the butt forward. If your butt was in line, you get yourself a pat on the back. You're doing great. Okay. So you just did 2 30-second planks and a 40-second plank. Really great for the core, really great for, again, the hip abductors, which are an important walking muscle. Anytime we're on our feet, we better be using these abductors. So, good job today. You got your side planks checked off your list.